We go through this every time. Yes, now we're live. Hi, everybody.
Finally.
Jeez. So I guess the first thing I should ask Dana, how's your foot?
It's there.
Still attached?
Yeah. So I had tutoring again, and my little tutoree asked what happened. I was like, well, I broke my foot a few years ago, and it didn't heal quite right. So they had to, well, cut it open and take a piece of the bone off. And she went,
Yay.
oh. It's like kind of what happened.
You asked.
I mean, it's not broken right.
So when she said what happened to your foot, you didn't glare at her angrily and say as if you didn't know.
No, I didn't.
Kind of a mean thing to do to a little kid, but very funny, you know, from an external perspective.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, keep in mind, you know, she's a kid. I don't know that she would have gotten it. She would have like, yeah, I don't know. That's why I asked.
No, that's why I asked. I don't have the information.
I mean, it was at the end of the session, so she was just like, oh.
So,
she was weirded out. But I think if I'd said, as if you don't know, she'd been like, whatever. Just, I'm out. Done thinking for today.
And by the way, I wanted to mention, we are streaming this on June 5th, and a couple of people have mentioned that tomorrow is D-Day, or the D-Day anniversary, not D-Day itself, unless we're doing it again, which I don't think we are. It's the 80th anniversary of D-Day. So I just want to say to all of our European viewers, on behalf of all of us in the United States, you're welcome. The United States, we have been dining out on D-Day for 80 years now. Anytime anyone from Europe ever said anything critical about the United States, we have always retreated to, yeah, well, if it wasn't for us, you'd all be speaking German. So you're welcome.
I mean, I'd say 79 and a half. I mean, we didn't really start dining out on it until
until the war was over. And then we were like, yeah, y'all are welcome. You're welcome for us liberating y'all from Hitler.
It is not an anniversary that I particularly take note of. This is the first I've heard of it today, to be honest.
Well, that's because you're not a patriot like I am. You know, you don't have the red, white, and blue running through your veins.
Shut up.
You're not a real American. You don't fight for the rights of every man. Are you giving me the finger beneath the frame? Is that what
no. I might be able to care less, but I have to develop a strategy for it.
Sean says, run the numbers. The Russians did most of the work. That was on the Eastern Front. That doesn't count. The only part that counts are the parts that we did. The Western Front of Europe and the Pacific. That's the important parts.
The important part of this holiday is that it's pizza night and I have pizza.
That's right. It is pizza night. And it's also Star Trek Deep Space Nine night. And we are watching an episode of Deep Space Nine. We are watching the Ascent. So if you have not already done so, please dial up that episode on whatever platform you're going to watch it on and have it paused at 0 and ready to go so that we can all start watching the episode once we have finished our opening tomfoolery here.
Woohoo!
Speaking of Star Trek, we this past week was the final episode of Star Trek Discovery.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, I saw a couple of mentions about that on probably Threads, although I think I also noticed it on Twitter.
The first of the new generation of Star Trek shows, and now the first of them to complete its run. So, and a little announcement, Dana. I don't think you even know this.
If it's about Star Trek, I probably don't.
I put up my season 5 review video of Discovery today, and just about an hour or so ago, I was direct messaging with my pal Jesse Gender, and we are going to do a live stream together
Oh, fun.
on Monday, starting
Okay.
at 6 p.m. Eastern, the same time that this show always starts, but on
It's a good
Monday.
time.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Discovery. So that'll be fun. And also, we're going to talk about Jesse's movie because, you know, Jesse directed a movie. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too.
I did not know. I think
Yeah.
I think I'd heard she was working on that, but
Yep.
I didn't. So it's come out.
It's not out yet. It's coming out on Nebula soon-ish. I'm not sure exactly what the release date is, but yeah. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. Yes, Sarah, exactly. A Jesse Gender and Steve Shives crossover episode, exactly. But here's the thing: everybody, whenever I've heard about it, people have said, "Oh, you and Jesse should do a stream together where you argue about Lower Decks." Ha! We're not doing that. We're going to do one about Discovery. Anyway, sorry, I keep interrupting.
You know, somebody in the chat is going to ask you about Lower Decks. I'm just saying.
Well, I'll tell them what I think if they ask.
Okay. Kira,
as if they didn't know.
I do not. Typically, we don't order pizza. If we do, it's from Papa John's because there's one that's close. There's a Papa John's close by. This is Red Baron, so it's just in the oven. It's low key.
Philip, this will be on this channel, on my channel. Yeah. Oh, 255D, you're right. Picard actually ended first. I forgot all about Picard. Oh, what a beautiful few minutes that was. Oh, God. Oh, if I, what a wonderful alternate reality I was living in for a few minutes where I was like, yeah, you know, Discovery, the first new Star Trek show to complete its run. And I was like, yeah. And then 255 AD has to shake me back to reality. What about Picard? Oh, right. Yes.
Well, you know, the first one that was good.
Yeah, the first one that I have mainly positive feelings about.
Is Red Baron racist pizza?
Papa John's is racist pizza.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or it used to be.
Not anymore. It just carries his name. I don't think I think they got rid of him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, arguably, that's probably not why they got rid of him. But, and Kara, yes, low key. I do not have trickster pizza. Just tasty.
Looks delicious.
Pizza just, it's so, I don't know.
Good.
It is, and like, I don't think of pizza as comfort food, but there's just something that's like you can count on pizza. I mean, you can mess up pizza. It can be done. Pizza's not pie, you know, but there's it's pretty reliable. Even bad pizza is good.
It's still pizza, yeah.
It's still pizza.
25580, I'm kind of neutral about it. I'm not like super thrilled about Starliner. I'm not like mad about it. I am not terribly invested in private space travel at this point. I don't really give a shit about space tourism. I don't care if it succeeds or it fails. Like, it's just, I don't think the future of human space exploration lies with that. So, I mean, yeah, it's nice that Starliner had a successful flight. Good for it. But I mean, I don't really, you know, I'm more interested in Artemis than any of the private stuff.
You know, something else we haven't talked about.
What's that?
Actually, I don't know if I know the title of this one. A Taylor Molly poem.
Okay.
Let me look up this. The title of the poem is totally like whatever, you know?
Okay. Okay.
And then I'll go into it. First of all, it's a good poem. And then I'll go into what made me think of it. In case you hadn't noticed, it has somehow become uncool to sound like you know what you're talking about or believe strongly in what you're saying. Invisible question marks and parenthetical you knows have been attaching themselves to the ends of our sentences, even when those sentences aren't like questions, you know? Declarative sentences, so called because they used to like declare things to be true, okay, as opposed to other things which are totally like, you know, not, have been infected by a totally hip and tragically cool interrogative tone, you know? Like, don't think I'm uncool just because I've noticed this. This is just the word on the street, you know? It's like what I've heard. I have nothing personally invested in my own opinions, okay? I'm just inviting you to join me in my uncertainty. What has happened to our conviction? Where are the limbs out on which we once walked? Have they been like chopped down with the rest of the rainforest? You know? Or do we have like nothing to say? Has society become so like totally, I mean, absolutely, you know, that we've just gotten to the point where it's just like, whatever. And so actually our disarticulationness is just a clever sort of a thing to disguise the fact that we've become the most aggressively inarticulate generation to come along since, you know, a long time ago. I entreat you, I implore you, I exhort you, I challenge you to speak with conviction, to say what you believe in a manner that bespeaks the determination with which you believe it. Because, contrary to the wisdom of the bumper sticker, it is not enough these days to simply question authority. You have to speak with it too. So, any guesses?
I was just about to ask, what reminded you of that poem?
One line in particular, because I
was
knew.
good. Well, you hit conviction awfully hard when you were
I
reading
did,
it. So.
didn't I?
Yeah, yeah, you hit conviction awfully hard. So was it perhaps placed in your head by the recent
Recent
criminal
events in
conviction
our
of
nation.
yes the that we can now say it's official that Donald Trump is a criminal. It's not just something we use to describe what we strongly suspect his behavior to be. It's no, he literally is a criminal.
A convicted felon.
A convicted felon.
Nick, I would like to offer a correction. I'm no lady. Kara Hughes, no. Taylor Molly. Oh.
Maya Angelou. You're a little, I'd say you're slightly off there, Kara. There are
there's a bit of a difference. I will say, coming to it now, it's interesting because it does. It pushes back against Valley Girl speak. So it's very dated. But it's interesting because I'm more familiar with the linguistic terminology for what he describes, which he focuses on uptalk, but he also, you know, the interjection of like, used as a placeholder in and in other ways as well. But it's a typically feminine response, and it's used more, and specifically by young. It's used more often by adolescent girls, and so it tends to get more, not necessarily harshly, more harshly, but also just more generally pushed back on than slang from other demographic groups, with the
Mhm.
strong exception of African American vernacular English, which also gets
Yeah.
pushed back on. So yeah,
Gets
it's
pushed back on
interesting to
while
see.
people take it.
And it's interesting to see the way that people respond to slang based on who it comes from. So Kira, I really enjoy Taylor Molly's work. Another one that I would suggest for you as a poet is I think I could be a poet. The first line is, I think that I could be a poet because I like to wear a lot of black. And I am not afraid to use that one requisite swear word to let you know I am serious, man. So good. It's
Oh,
so good.
Vilcata says, by the way, I create gamer content. So your opening premise in your recent holodeck episode about how boring it is to watch other people play games felt a bit personal. Well, it should have.
Vilcata, did you come here to have a good time? And are you feeling so attacked right now?
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Azalea.
So yeah, I am. Let's see, what's today? Today is so it'll be Tuesday that the sentence goes out.
Oh, your
The
video.
11th. Oh wait, no, it's July 11th though, isn't it? We have to wait. We have to wait until July, don't we?
Oh, you mean the Trump sentence? Yeah, July 11th. Unless it gets pushed, which it may well get pushed. I mean, it's currently slated for July 11th. Yeah.
Well, that I was like, where did I hear that? It's the ending of Dead Again. Well, I, for one, am very interested to see what will happen.
Oh, what a great movie.
That was so much fun. So much fun. So over the top.
So many scissors. So many scissors. The sheer number of scissors.
The sheer number of shears.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. It's a fun movie.
Such a fun movie. Anytime Kenneth Branagh gets to do an accent, and he actually does two accents in it, because he does an American accent and then he does like that, whatever that was, that Eastern European, like whatever that was supposed
Polish,
to be, German or Polish. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not, but yeah, whatever in the flashbacks, whatever that was supposed to be. And he got to wear a little beard. Like a lot of the same things that are indicators, that are positive indicators for Orson Welles, are positive indicators for Branagh. If he's doing a voice, if he's wearing some kind of makeup or prosthetic on his face, and it's like, okay, this is going to be fun. This is going to be good. If you see Orson Welles wearing a big fake nose, you're like, this is going to be good. Pay attention to this. And if you see Branagh wearing like a fake nose or a beard or something, and he's speaking in an outrageously theatrical accent, you're like, all right, you're going to want to watch this.
Okay, so Keurig, I have some information for you. Trump has not lost the election by his conviction.
No.
Amusingly, he may be unable to vote in the election, but he can still run. And if elected, he could still serve.
That's right. It's, you know what it's like? It's the constitutional version of Air Bud. There is no law against a man serving as president from prison. Seems like there should be, but there ain't. Because the founding fathers, in their slave-owning innocence, just never occurred to these great learned men. Should we put a line in here about how if you're like currently serving a prison sentence that you can't be the president? Oh, that's not going to be necessary. The American people
Because
are never going to elect a convicted felon as president. Don't be silly.
no, because the thing is, you have to be rich in order to run for office, especially an office of that
Rich,
stature. And if you're going to be
even
rich, they're not going to convict you.
even here in colonial times, rich people don't go to jail. What are you talking about?
I mean, in a sense, we have made some progress.
We yes, every once in a while, a rich person goes to jail. So yay us.
Wait. We don't know that yet.
Well,
have been. I've heard there have been others.
Yes, rumor has it other rich people have gone to jail on occasion. 255 AD said, you know what you didn't mention during your last video that occurred, and this would be my Oleana video, the ridiculous idea that you could get a DA to charge a guy with attempted rape for grabbing a woman. Well, that goes along with my thesis on the movie, which is that it's just a dramatization of the right-wing hysterical nightmare scenario. Like, this is what happens when you empower women and their minds are poisoned with political correctness and they charge innocent men with rape, and now he's going to lose his job and he's going to go to jail, blah, 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 and he didn't do anything wrong. Like, it's all part and parcel of that whole thing. Yeah, Azalea, I think SBF went to jail. I'm pretty sure. Well, and I mean, Robert Durst, he was rich. He went to jail. Sam Bankman-Fried, the crypto billionaire guy.
Oh, Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart, there's another one, yeah.
And also prison, mind you, prison.
Yeah, oh, prison, yeah, not just jail, prison, yeah.
No, Vilcata, come on, they didn't have fonts back then. They just got, they just whittled away at their quills.
Thomas Jefferson's handwriting wasn't quite maniacally small enough to fit it in.
Oh yeah, something somebody else pointed out is that Trump didn't go to jail. Like, he was convicted.
Oh, after being
after being sentenced. He didn't go to jail.
Oh yeah, he still gets to come back for sentencing in a month.
he's been convicted and he's out on bail. He's been convicted of a felony and he's out on bail. Like, that wouldn't happen if he wasn't rich.
Oh no. I mean, you would like to think that if the crime he was charged with and ultimately convicted of was more serious, I'm not that what he was charged with wasn't serious, because it was, but if he was convicted of murder, you'd like to think that he would have gone straight to jail. They wouldn't have said, okay, sentencing on July 11th, so be back here. You know what I mean? Like, you'd like to think that they would have kept him in custody, but who the fuck knows? You know?
Sean O'Sullivan, did OJ go to prison?
OJ went to prison for a little while. Not for theft, for stealing back his memorabilia. Not for, he was acquitted of the murders. But, but like years later, he was convicted of something else.
Out? But he was in. Was he on bail during the trial?
I don't know.
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
I don't remember things. At the time, I think I assumed that he was in jail, but I'm not sure. Maybe he wasn't.
Exactly. Yeah, but jail, not prison, essentially, is what I was thinking. But
prison is jail. Yeah, jail is where you're held. Prison is where you're sent for your long-term sentence. Yeah.
Unless jail's crowded, then you just stay in prison.
Then you just go to prison
if you're poor.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Kirak, he still has. Well, the thing is, Trump still has a few trials to go, but the thing is, none of those are going to be over with before the election. And in fact, none of them are probably even going to be started before the election, unfortunately.
which is the real reason that he wants to get rid of the, what is it, 24th Amendment, 25th, 24th?
The 24th. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because like if it doesn't, if he wins, they're gonna be like, we'll wait, we'll wait. I mean, I would
So
anyway.
speaking, yeah. Speaking of waiting, you think we've waited long enough to watch this Deep Space Nine episode?
Oh yeah, let's go for it.
It's like you just remembered
Yeah, the whole
the
reason for the stream.
the supposed premise of the stream. Okay. Would you like to tell everybody how this is going to work?
Okay, so we're watching Deep Space Nine, season 5, episode something.
9.
The Ascent. Okay, and so I
Yep.
can I figured that out because I hovered over the little screen here, and it says that I've got it because I've got it queued up at 0000. So we're on Paramount Plus. So cue that up wherever you got it. We will have no ads. We'll just go right through. And so Steve's going to count us in 3, 2, 1, play. And when Steve says play, we all play at the same time and just watch it through. And there will be a little chitter chatter along the way, but we're not intending to pause. If, however, yours gets hiccuped and you have to turn it off and turn it back on again, you can look at the time code somewhere up there and you can synchronize back with us. If it's not 100% perfect, that's okay. It's all good.
That's right. And so, Dana, don't forget to mute yourself when you start watching.
Yes, because I still don't know where my earbuds are. They're somewhere. Where? I don't know.
They'll turn up.
Or not.
I think the surgeon closed them up in your foot by accident.
There aren't any bumps. I think I would be way down.
He must have shoved them up into the bone then.
The anesthetic has worn off. No, I suspect there would be pain if that was the case. And there isn't.
Oh, good point. Good point.
Thank you. All right, so are you going to count us in?
I'm going to count us in, everybody. Kara, I hope you're ready.
There you go.
Here we go. Getting started in 3, 2, 1, play.
Have you been using birth control?
Ah.
Don't you forget it.
Get out of here, you little whippersnapper. Boy, looks like Rom went to Kirkland's. Check out the decor.
You'd think you'd be used to it.
And Azalea, this isn't the episode with the root beer quote. I think we watched that one already. I think that one's back in Way of the Warrior, isn't it? I think. Thank you, Keurig. I thought so. Hair one fire, I bet. Enterprise has its moments, but it ain't no Deep Space Nine. Okay, 25580. I saw you mention it before. Kara, Fizbin is a TOS reference.
Silence
It's the
sounds
game.
great.
It's the game that Captain Kirk makes up to distract the gangsters.
That's not smut. Come on, y'all.
Well, he was getting to the smutty part.
But there's another part. That's the point. Piss off.
I have some smut to read. And by the way, the Fizbin reference is exactly the kind of reference that I can not only tolerate but that I like. Not like all the time, but every once in a while, a little joke like that is nice. Air One Fire. I was going to say something about that. That Vulcan love slave, according to Ensign's log continuity, Vulcan love slave stars Jason's sister. Sean, exactly, exactly. And also, it doesn't really make sense because Fizbin doesn't exist. It's not an actual game, so there's no way that Quark would really even know what it was. But yeah, it's a nice little joke. He's doomed. I've made a terrible mistake. I don't need muscles. I'm a writer.
Wine, wine, wine.
What's that buzzing noise? Boy, Quark should be a host on Car Talk. Oh no.
Nah, nah, nah.
Oh, great. Cable's out. Well, any landing you can walk away from.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, starve.
I don't know. I think I take freezing.
Do you think? Don't you like that Nog has future weights? They're the weights of the future. Well, poet is a form of writer. So he put on his uniform to work out, and now he's going to take his uniform off and take a shower, and then presumably put another uniform on to
Wait,
go to
wait,
work.
wait, 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 wait. Why are you assuming he's going to take his uniform off to shower?
Well, maybe might as well clean me and the uniform at the same time.
Efficiency.
Great, so we just have to climb to the top of Denali and we'll be fine.
At least it's a sunny day.
A sunny, apparently freezing day. I see. So the division of labor you envisioned is me doing all the work and you wearing all the protective clothing. Interesting. Cara Denali is the highest mountain in North America. It used to be called Mount McKinley.
Watch your step, dumbass.
Caitlin, yeah, the mess is ridiculous. The level of mess makes Nog completely in the right. Why would I fold a shirt? Jake thinks. Well, shut my mouth.
I don't know what he's counting because he's been counting like one count every 3 to 4 steps.
Yeah. He just wants a ballpark figure.
He just wants to piss off Hodo.
Yeah. Man, if I was Captain Cisco, I would never be caught dead eating or drinking anything in public. It's just such a weird random beat for Rom that he secretly drew his son's blood and has been carrying it around all day, checking it.
Maybe you spilled some blood in the toolkit. Why don't we trade sons?
Child swap.
Did I miss something? Are they not aware that they were living together?
Well, one of them is going to move out though because of their big fight.
Right. But their whole point is, oh, if we could only get them in the same room. Like, is that supposed to be a joke? Because it wasn't delivered like a joke. I'm confused. I don't know. Yes.
Boys, you both have character flaws. Whoops. Yeah, I think so. God damn, that's some misery shit.
I'm familiar with that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh no!
Samantha, we are watching Deep Space Nine, The Ascent. We're about 34 minutes and 45 seconds into it.
Quark just broke Odo's leg.
Yeah, Quark is fighting Odo on a mountain and calling him a fascist. That's where we are. And he'll stay nice and fresh. He's wrapped in foil. Ryan, yeah, probably. Same material, you know.
If you can whine, you can climb.
If you can lean, you can clean, Quark.
Nice, the second.
Yeah. There, I pushed it another 12 feet up the mountain. Let's try it now. Thank you, Samantha. Thanks for stopping by. Well, I'm the captain of the goddamn station. I go where I want. I order you to be the odd couple.
I said good day.
It's mostly just clothes that you've clearly intentionally left lying around.
The stage manager, put them around so that it would look disheveled.
Meanwhile, on another planet that is definitely not Earth. Yeah, Air One Fire, they're both odd couple stories. The clashing of Odo and Quark and the clashing of Jake and Nog.
It was all a dream. Why?
The end. So why why did you roll your eyes just now?
So, okay, do they follow up? Does Quark go to trial?
Oh no, that I don't think that ever comes up again.
So the Federation, who has no knowledge of this, they just don't show up. The Federation's like, we'll skip that one.
I guess he didn't show up. You know, shit happens. It's a big universe. Fuck.
Don't tell Trump.
Yeah. You mean you could just not show up?
It's okay. I think we're okay. I don't think he watches Star Trek or this channel.
I saw an episode of Star Trek, and I think you can just not show up. The Jewish character with the big ears got away with it. I'm going to try that.
And if you don't let me, it's because you're anti-Semitic. Let's throw that in there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. I Love the Ants asks, why are there lights under the tables? Because it makes a more interesting shot. And it's Star Trek, and there's lights on everything. So.
Yeah. It's the future. Just like with Nog's weights. They're future weights.
They're future weights. They have little settings on them.
So these are future tables.
Yeah. Exactly. They're future. It's future medicine. He's in a future hospital room in the future, and in the future, the beds have lights underneath them. So what'd you think of the episode?
The A plot, it was really repetitive and boring.
Which one are you calling the A plot?
The one the episode's named for. The Ascent.
Okay. You thought it was repetitive and boring? You didn't think the quarrels between Odo and Quark were entertaining enough to carry it along?
It was entertaining enough to put up with it, but it didn't particularly make it interesting. Yeah, no. The Jake and Nog thing was okay. Yeah, this was not one of the stronger episodes that we've watched. It was all right.
Okay.
Sorry, everybody. I hope there wasn't
any.
I
mean, I'm not. It's not one of my. It's not one of my like all-time favorites, but I love the Odo and Quark stuff. I mean, the Jake and Nog stuff is okay, but it feels so forced. You know, it's like Nog all of a sudden is a huge hard ass about cleanliness and physical fitness, and Jake, by the way, is a massive slob. And
that much of a slob before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's to me the main draw is the Odo Quark story, and just their constant sniping at each other is just endlessly entertaining to me.
Yeah, I don't know. The Odo, it wasn't none of, and maybe it's because I don't know the material. None of it struck me as they've had some good zingers in other episodes. And there was an opportunity to get in some really witty stuff. None of it was particularly clever or witty. They said about, they were complaining about the situation. And that was it. I'm like, okay. So Oh, Philip, I'm sorry. Um, yeah, it just didn't grab
Okay.
me. I guess I can understand they didn't want to make them too clever because it's a, I guess the excuse is that it's a, very strenuous situation and they wouldn't have had the mental acuity up there on the mountain. Maybe that's the excuse. I don't know. Um, but they've had better singers in other episodes. It was a good opportunity, but it just missed. It didn't really
Okay.
deliver. Um,
Okay. Kara mentions the TOS episode, A Piece of the Action, which is the Gangster Planet episode. And that to me, and Dana, I don't, you haven't seen that one, but that to me, that is a repetitive episode. I mean, I don't think it's a bad episode. It's fun, but I mean, it gets into a rhythm where it's like there's two rival gangsters in that episode on the Gangster Planet, Krakow and Oxmix, and the story gets to a point where it's like, okay, let's go to Krakow's place. Okay, let's go back to Oxmix's. Okay, let's go back to Krakow's. Like they go back and forth to the two different places like multiple times. And I'm like, boy, they're just going back and forth now. That's what this has become. Kirk's like, we got to go back to Krakow's place. Oh, okay. 2 to 580. No, I'm not annoyed that you have head cannons. I mean, I don't really care, but I'm not annoyed by it. Oh, Ryan, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Barry Manilow. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Barry has had some work done on his face as he gets older, and yeah, he definitely has kind of the last time I saw a recent photograph of Barry Manilow, he definitely had kind of an Odo look to him for sure. He has
um,
Odo's going out clothes.
yeah. I don't. It didn't feel like final honesty and catharsis for me at all. Because they were still when they were on the mountain. I guess like with Odo's last little bit, he's actually thinking of what Quark would have wanted. Um,
Yeah,
and I guess there's that. But I mean, there's nothing, there's no generosity to it. It's still just practicality. Like, look, he would have wanted this, blah blah. There's nothing saying, it doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter what the charges are. That's all past. There's nothing like that. There's no.
Do
Um,
you think that would have been better, or would that have also been like cliched in its own way? Like, oh, actually, it turns out Quark isn't that bad after all. Like, wouldn't that have been kind of cliched?
yeah, yeah, well, and it didn't build up to that. Like I felt
Right.
like it didn't build. I felt like that's what they were going for. Like, going through something difficult together, breaks down those barriers. But at the same time, I think they realized that they still want that animosity between them. So they didn't want to go too far in that direction and actually have them come to some sort of, a really a strong connection, because of course it's going to go away because the dynamic of the show is going to go back to what it was, right?
Right.
So they can't do too much of that either. So I felt there was the opportunity for that, but they couldn't really go for it. I think what would have felt more authentic is not so much, Odo saying, it turns out he was good after all, as at this point, it doesn't matter what he did. Treat, his remains with dignity, whether or not he as a person deserved it. You know,
Yeah.
it's
I
more of, well, this is what he would have wanted, so I guess do that. Okay, I'm gonna
or
die
they
now. It's
or they
like,
could have
all
gone
right.
they could have gone in the opposite direction and gone full tilt comedy with it and had Odo say something like, please extract whatever urine is remaining in my bladder and sprinkle it over Quark's remains since I won't be able to do it myself.
See, yeah, I think I would have liked that more. Like if they had just escalated
He was
to
just
just
petty right to the end.
all the way up. It just made it worse
Yeah.
and worse. Like, because we also, you know, and well, I mean, I said I would rather freeze, because with freezing to death, you get over the pain, and eventually you lose the ability to feel the pain, the discomfort. And so you're like, oh, I feel good. That's not good. Okay, I'm gonna die now, and then you die. That's all it is. It's a relatively like once you get past the initial not nice in the the sadly appropriately named To Build a Fire, there you go. And that did come to mind, of course, in this because like if Quark's still complaining about being cold, he's not that cold.
Yeah,
So, and although in fairness, I have to remind myself, and I wasn't thinking about this during the episode, so maybe that's a good thing. He's not human, so I guess it works differently for
sure.
Ferenginoid,
Ferengi. Although
Ferengi, right?
Ferenginoid is hilarious. Ferenginoid is much better.
Well, I'm sorry. I try not to just put my own spin on it, but I was kind of guessing there. But I had it right the first time. I
As
got it right.
people who watch my Starfleet Jobs videos might have noticed, I enjoy turning up the absurdity of the alien names in Star Trek. So like, yeah, Ferenginoid sounds a lot goofier than Ferengi, so that's what I would have gone with.
Well, and I think that uh turning up the absurdity of the situation, I think also would have worked in terms of drama. Like they could also have played it up as they are sniping at each other as a way to distract themselves from the very real danger that they're in.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
so yeah, but yeah, I didn't feel that there was a shift in the dynamic of their going back and forth. Like it didn't seem to escalate. It didn't seem to change toward, getting closer to each other. I think it was supposed to, but it just kind of continued and they kept snipping at each other and they kept, taking more steps and Odo's hair got worse.
Yeah, oh yeah. One of the downsides of being a solid, I guess, is that you don't
I
have
guess
a permanently, like well
and
coiffed hairdo.
and having been in a very similar situation to my leg is broken, I'm just like, wow, that's just a very matter of fact way of saying that. Again, he's humanoid, still not technically human. We don't know exactly what the other changelings did to Wilkinson, but I was just like, okay, it's broken. You're being dragged up a rocky mountain on a sledge, and you're just kind of go, okay, I'm just gonna watch. So there was a lot of just going along with it.
Philip makes a good. Ferengi is the taxonomic classification of Ferengi. That's
Of course,
yeah. They're Ferenginoid people. Yeah, yeah.
Ferenginoidal.
Ferenginoid organism.
Only when they get a little bit of a bit of a cold, they get Ferenginoidal.
Shall we play Wordle?
Let's go for it.
All righty. So, for everybody watching, if you haven't played Wordle with us before, the way this works is this is today's Wordle, all official like from the New York Times and everything. And Dana takes the lead and kind of decides what guesses we make and all that. But Dana does not actually see the board. She is only going by my description of it. Now, if you have not solved today's Wordle already and you would like to play along with us, we think that's great. Please feel free to share your suggestions, your guesses, whatever in the chat. The only thing we ask is if you have solved today's Wordle, please do not give the answer away. And also, please do not give us any hints because when you cheat, you only cheat yourself. So, shall we begin, Dana?
Let's go for it.
The typical starter, I take it, heart.
Heart.
Heart. Heart gives us an A and an R, both in the wrong place. And no H, no E, and no T.
All right, so let's go for lions.
Lions. Lions gives us an O and an N, both in the wrong place. So
Okay.
we know what 4 of the letters are. We just don't know where any of them go.
Okay, so which were the two from heart? It was A and R?
A and R. And then from lions, it's O and N, but all in the wrong place.
So it could be ND is a common. No, because it would be is and the N cannot be the penultimate.
Right.
So OR something something N. So OR something AN. NORAD won't work.
Yeah, NORAD is like a proper
Yeah.
name. And, and it's an acronym.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it can't be crown because there has to be an A.
Yeah.
Yeah, David said crown. There has to be an A.
Organ could
Ooh,
work.
organ might be it. Yeah.
Yep. Let's go for organ.
Organ could be
Nothing
it.
else
Try
gives
organ?
us. It gives us those four letters in different places.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's try organ. Oh, that was it. Good guess. All right.
Good job, HB Haga. I hope that was really a guess. I mean, because man, you were just right there with it. Yeah.
Nice.
Good job, us. So, today is Wednesday, and
Indeed.
as we're starting to wrap up, don't forget that if you are so this Friday, Steve will be back on this channel for Ask Away. And if you are a member of the channel or if you are a Patreon patron, then you should have got an email from Steve asking you to send in a question, which he will read live on the air and then give his answer as best he is able. If you are not a member or patron, you can just, there's a button somewhere around here where you can click to join, or you can go to patreon.com/Steve Shives and join as a patron that way, and then send in your question. And if not, you are still welcome to join us on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the chat and the live stream. And then, and did you say, is it next Monday that you're getting together with Jesse Gender?
Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, myself and Jesse Gender streaming together to talk about Star Trek Discovery, the end of Star Trek Discovery, and also about Identities, which is Jesse's movie. So it'll be a fun stream. And
then next Wednesday we'll be back again here.
That's right.
To watch Poirot. What are we watching next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday, we are watching The Affair at the Victory Ball. Does that ring a bell?
Not exactly. Like it's way in the back there. Like maybe I'm familiar with it, but I can't place it.
The ball doesn't ring a bell?
No.
Well, then it'll be extra interesting. So yeah, that's next week. And then in 2 weeks, we're back to Deep Space Nine, and we are watching the episode Rapture, which is of particular interest to me for purely inconsequential, nerdy reasons. It doesn't really matter at all in anything other than a minor aesthetic sense, but Rapture is the first episode of Deep Space Nine where they change their uniforms and they start to wear the First Contact movie style uniforms with the gray shoulders and the colored shirt, the color division colors on the undershirt. And there's some of my, I think they're probably my second favorite Star Trek uniforms after the monster maroons that Captain Kirk and company wear in their movies. So,
and yeah, as Caitlin points out, so Steve has some links in the description to some nonprofit organizations. And then there's also charitylinks.page, which is a curated list of some of our friends and associates who could use some financial help. So if you have the financial means to help, go right ahead and look through that. Helping people is good.
Helping people is good. Air One Fire, how dare you? They start to wear the disgusting uniforms. How dare you?
Oh, wow. No.
After I helped you,
after I helped you
and motivated you, and you turn on me like this.
The disgusting ones are the ones that were left on the floor of Jake and Nog's apartment for a week and a half.
Or the one that Nog apparently took a shower in. Kirok, without spoiling, maybe saying yes or isn't the Rapture set the events of season 7 regard? I think Rapture comes up. I think what some stuff that is introduced in Rapture comes up again in season 7. I think, but yeah.
Caitlin, I like that analogy. It's a Marmite episode.
Air on Fire is doubling down. Says these uniforms are a piece of shit that came out of my own asshole. How dare you? You were playing with fire.
I don't really care. So
I go figure. You don't have a strong opinion on Star Trek uniforms.
Not so much. No, not really.
Good for you.
Thank you.
So anyway, yes.
I guess that's it.
That's it.
That's all.
We'll see. I'll see you Friday for Ask Away and Monday with Jesse to talk about Discovery, and then we'll be back a week from tonight to watch Poirot.
Woo-hoo! Thanks for joining us tonight, everybody.
Bye, everybody.